All right, so I feel like it's time for me to do a review on a movie I actually really like because I'm feeling a little bit down hating on movies. So I think it's important to share with you the movies that I actually like. And let's talk about The Dark Knight, which is probably one of the best movies out there for superhero type movies. And actually, in fact, if you want to talk drama, same thing. Very iconic. So here we go. We're going to talk about The Dark Knight. So The Dark Knight, of course, stars Christian Bale and Heath Ledger, and this was the last movie that Heath Ledger made. God rest his soul, because he was a fantastic actor. And I think what stands out with the Joker is you don't think it's Heath Ledger at all. Like, there's times where I'm like, I can't, if you didn't tell me this was Heath Ledger, I wouldn't know, because that's how good of a character he portrayed in the Joker. So it was fantastic, and there was a nice character arc in the Joker. I would say the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, is probably the greatest villain of all time, surpassing Darth Vader. Here's the reason why I say that the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, is greater than Darth Vader, is because Darth Vader actually turns good, and he has a conscience and all that. So he actually goes after his son, excuse me, and he's conflicted back and forth. And don't get me wrong, he's a good, I don't even know if he's a bad guy, because he actually believed in what he was doing was right. He got turned to the dark side, and we can go into that in another video, but he was conflicted. So for me to be a really good bad guy, you can't be conflicted of turning good and bad and good. Can you imagine if the Joker was back and forth that way? It wouldn't have worked. So same thing, it reminds me of Thanos in the Avengers, in the Infinity Wars. He was an awesome bad guy. I'd put him just right below the Joker. So you need bad guys like that they're convicted, but they're not conflicted. There's a big difference there. And Heath Ledger's Joker, like, you can watch him in a movie all by himself. Like, every time he was in the movie, you were captured by every single word. Why do you think so many people quote the Joker? You know, why so serious, and good evening, Commissioner, and all that kind of stuff. Like, there's just endless one-liners. And not that that makes a movie, but it's just, I don't know, just the way Christopher Nolan directed it. He's also one of my favorite directors as well. Loved Inception and all Memento and all those other movies that he did. So you have a great director. Christian Bale was great as Batman. It was getting a little bit old with the growly, you know, I'm not wearing hockey pads and all that kind of stuff. You know, a little bit of that, I could have toned that back a bit. But that's okay. But excuse me, the conflict between the Joker and Batman was great, because the Joker was always trying to prove a point in the movie, and that was, if you push somebody far enough, they're going to crack. They'll eat each other. So when you have that type of a criminal that's always trying to push you over the edge and is happy when you cross that line and become crazy, even though he didn't think he was crazy. I just thought, like, I don't know how many times I've watched the movie. Like, that's part of it too. Like, if you want to watch the movie again and again and again, that tells you something about the movie. And just the performances, like even Commissioner Gordon was good as well. Like, all the supporting cast was fantastic. The only sad part was at the end of the movie, obviously they kept the character alive, but in real life Heath Ledger died, and that was tragic. And I don't think, you know, I'd like to say that didn't have an influence on how many people went to the movie, but I also know a lot of people went to the movie to pay their respects by watching Heath Ledger's final performance. So yeah, overall I'd give that, like, no matter what universe you're in, if you're using like whatever rating system you have, if it's 5 stars, I give it a 5. If it's 10 out of 10, give it a 10. If it's awesome-tacular, give it that. Like, it's just a great, fantastic movie. And I would, if you haven't seen the movie yet, I encourage you to watch it. Own the Blu-ray. I have the Blu-ray as well at home. And feel free to comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. If I've missed something, let me know. Harvey Dent was great in it. I like the whole idea that how they actually made the character Harvey Dent, because you really like this guy. You felt that character had conflict. You felt it, but then he snapped at the end. He actually turned, and I think seeing how much of a white knight he was, and then all of a sudden he turned bad. Excuse me. It was very powerful as well. So yeah, overall, like, this is probably one of the best movies out there, I would say. So there you go. So there's my take on The Dark Knight. Let me know, and as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.